like Attila the Hun. I came here to conquer. Lanes bring the beef, I tell them no donker. They wanna play games, I shock them like Blanca. They still rudimentary, I'm tough like Tonka. And let me get this off my chest. I'm hearing going nowhere, so haters take a rest. Ain't nothing handed, just working hard, sweating. You can take that to the bank. I know I did bet.
Welcome to episode 20 of Eye of the Storm. I, of course, am your host, Tempestt. Please be sure to hit the like button, and if you're new and like the content, be sure to leave a sub and hit the notification bell to know when the next video goes up. It really does help the channel out. Also, if you haven't seen the previous episodes, feel free to give those a look as well. As you know, there's a playlist for ease of access, and of course I do my own content other than this, such as music, montages, and the like. I also work with Mind Over Mixup, and I help out with BDG too. With that out of the way, let's get started. So, the drought of console availability continues. Again, I really hope this isn't some elaborate marketing ploy. Look, with the pandemic happening, the last thing we need is people packed in stores. I'm looking at you, GameStop, and Best Buy, and Target. You get the point. The online availability honestly should be a priority for companies at this point until we can avoid major exposure, but that's just me. There were some bundles available on a site called Ant Online, but they kind of sold out pretty quickly. It was on the 13th, I believe, during Prime Day. Surprisingly, neither Amazon nor other major retailers had more available to buy, at least to my knowledge. We'll just have to keep an eye out for anything in the future. In other news, MK11 is abuzz with the release of characters, and obviously, as always, we've got mixed reactions to the choices. There was Rain, Melina, and Rambo. Now, me personally, I'm okay with them, but people just seem to want more legacy characters at this point. And while with some I can understand, others it would kind of be a bit odd at this point unless they actually had purpose to add to the story. Now, a character you kind of could make an argument for is Ferritor, but I'll leave that up to you. Just let me know in the comments who you might want to see return. Now, clips of Minecraft Steve are all over, and while the character is definitely looking kind of annoying, the placement of him on the tier list is, as always, up in the air. A bit of advice though, don't follow the hype just because you see some training mode combo when it comes to Smash. There are things called DI and actual practicality that come into play with a game like that. Give it a few weeks or heck, even months before you actually start looking seriously at how good a character is. Yes, there are ridiculous things that you can see. However, they can be broken down and countered with just a little bit of lab work. This is most definitely applicable to Smash more so than other games. Now, in other news, we're slowly creeping towards our goal. I've got a name for the new anime-based series, and I can't wait to share more information with you. I may even come up with a new theme song for it. Probably gonna need some different footage too. Just remember that when we hit 100, I'll get the details to you. Thanks so much for everything you guys do. Just reaching 20 is like a dream come true right now. I keep saying it, but I want to do so much more for everyone, and plans are in motion. Even with this series, you can see we're slowly kind of taking a turn and making a bit more of a structured thing here. We just got to hit some goals. Now, we can address some subjects for this episode now. First off, let's talk about learning a new character, since we kind of already mentioned the whole Minecraft Steve thing. While it's nice to hop in the lab and string stuff together, there are things you should be aware of so your attack doesn't get debunked. Aha, don't worry. Speaking of which, if you weren't aware, the lab equals practice mode, and tech equals the things that you come up with while practicing. This could happen either in the lab or against the computer or other people. In general, when you're playing to discover, it's called labbing. Tech or technology is pretty apt for a description, and honestly, it's pretty self-explanatory. Back on subject though, when you come up with something, be sure to ensure that your dummy is set to escape at the earliest moment, block things properly, and so on. The tools in training mode are your friend. In Smash, it's a bit different. It doesn't really have what most would be considering a proper training mode, for lack of better words. There are ways around that, in which, honestly, especially when it comes to Smash, that's a whole subject all on its own. But what you want to do is look for specific things that, honestly, it's in any game. You want to look at spacing, damage, move speed, and other things like that. Knowing what to look for is going to take time and a lot of experience, and it does kind of come from your fundamentals, in my opinion, just your knowledge of it. There's a reason so many different people can get so many different things they find due to their experiences and understanding. It's one of the things I love about fighting games. You can get so much insight on different things and so much differential things that you can get from a single thing. It's great. The other thing I want to quickly touch on is dealing with corner pressure when you're in that position. This is, again, a brief thing. We can go in depth later on. First off, if you happen to not know, corner pressure is just as it sounds, getting your opponent to a wall and applying the pressure. You can either be on the receiving end or be the one applying the pressure itself. Best part? There's a huge amount of strategy in both ends. It's not as simple as it seems in some cases. See, when you happen to be the one being pressured, a big mistake is panicking when you're stuck. The way you deal with pressure, however, is different between 2D and 3D fighters, heck, sometimes even between 2D fighters, but it's because of a whole different axis that you have to deal with. However, basic principles do apply. Don't press buttons for no apparent reason. If you're in a corner, you don't want to fall for the baits of your opponent. Pay attention. On both ends, mind you. This means that you have to be patient. Sound familiar? See, this actually applies again to both people, because impatience can land you in the opposite role. Plus, don't assume that your own position is inherently bad or good. There's many different ways around this. Again, the other thing is, so that way we kind of get the other end when you're the one applying the pressure, is to know your moves. Choosing the proper moves to keep your opponent on their toes guessing is the most important aspect to your corner pressure. Just test their reaction and look for an opening that you can create, or one that they make it due to mistakes. But that should do it for now. In the end, remember that the lab is your friend. You want to make sure that you use all the tools properly, and just don't be in there randomly. It won't help you at all. Next thing is to learn your character and others. Know what to look for, and don't be afraid to expand your knowledge and outlook. And lastly, patience and observation. And again, knowledge. You have to learn how to work the corner. Yeah, pause. And use it the best way you can. But what are your thoughts on the gaming news? Excited? Anything I missed or you wanted me to talk about? Have anything on our lesson today? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I can't English again today. And if you enjoyed it, please share with a friend. And shout outs to BDG and Mind Over Mixup as always. Please be sure to check them out if you haven't already. Give them some major love. Remember, I take submissions and I'm always around on various media sources if you want to reach me. I appreciate feedback and discussion, and discuss with each other as well. Also, let's get these goals. I can't wait to start doing more. That being said, be safe, take care of each other, press buttons, and catch on the flip side.
You want says, best believe that you'll catch one. Represent my gang, head shaking like I'm Gladiator. Beat the beat ferociously, I'm vicious like the Manhattan. Probably favorite rapper than just rolling like a Don Fin. I'm flame body, everything I do is guaranteed high. Y'all gon' keep this record spinning heavy like a poker stop. I grasp not